Welcome to It's a Grand Life, where our mission is to be a voice for grand families and kinship caregivers everywhere. Did you know that in the United States alone, there are 2.3 million grandparents raising their grandchildren? 2.3 million. It's a Grand Life is committed to making a difference for those kids. That's why we have the podcast, a Facebook group, and the Grand Fund. The Grand Fund, which is a 501c3 which was launched in June of 2024, provides financial assistance to grand families, including shelter, food, clothing, and household needs. Grand families are in every neighborhood, in every city, every tribe and territory nationwide. If this is you or someone you love, we're here for you. And we welcome you to join us on this mission. Our goal is to offer hope and resources to help you. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us wherever you get your podcasts and leave a review. You can also join our Facebook group. Just search for it under It's a Grand Life. And your reviews, comments, and sharing of our podcasts help us reach others that need assistance. Welcome to another episode of It's a Grand Life. Hi, my name is Craig Nash. I'd like to welcome you to another It's a Grand Life. And you're absolutely going to be blessed today. We're going to introduce a lady named Erika Johnson, who's got a phenomenal outreach to special needs folks, including our wonderful grandparents. And it's called Lend a Hand and Heal a Heart, Inc. And I just know you're going to learn a lot today. And Erika, thank you so much for being our guest here on It's a Grand Life.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
And so you've started this organization, actually, if I'm not mistaken, over 10 years ago. You started working in this field in 2014. And what led you to have a heart for folks with special needs and promoting wellness and all the things that you do? Was it your background in psychology or what led you to this Lend a Hand, Heal a Heart, Inc. program?
No, so I feel like I was always born with it because when I was in middle school, we had a choir that had people with disabilities, and they would come sing. And I remember the entire time I was crying, and they even had to come up to me and they were like, "We're okay," and I'm like, "Okay." And then when I was in the 7th grade, we had to do community service, and I chose to partner with kids that had special needs. And we would take them to the carnival at my school and ride rides with them. And so I love that. And I just love the way I felt. I felt, sympathetic just because I didn't like, what they had to go through. But I also was happy because I felt like they were happy. And so that made me happy. And as I got older, I always said that I wanted to find a way to include myself into making them happy and giving them a better life. And when I got older, I had a son, and when I was pregnant, they said that he might have been special needs. It was something with the chromosomes that wasn't adding up. And they said that you would have to decide, do you want to have an abortion and get rid of it now so you don't have to go through with it, or you have to prepare to be a special needs mom. And so that really put into perspective what parents and what people have to go through is to make these decisions that you're not aware of. And these life-altering things happen. Now you have to adjust to it. And so he did not, he did not have any type of disability, but it was just that, putting that into perspective for me. And so as I got older, I decided to start a nonprofit. What better way to help than to start your own organization?
When my wife and I were pregnant, we were older parents, and we had to go through a lot of additional testing. And there's a point when you're dealing with the folks at the hospital that they put the fear of God in you. That you could have a special needs, and you and I both know many folks that have special need kids that love them to death, and they are such a blessing to the family. And I was at a wedding about a month ago with one of the attorneys in my wife's office. Daughter got married, and her twin was a special needs young man. And for some reason, we're waiting for the reception to get going. And he found me and sat on my lap and hugged me for like 10 minutes. And I thought, this is unbelievably beautiful. And I didn't know this. I knew him over the years, but we didn't have that type of relationship where he would recognize me. But there's so much love in the community that you're serving. And in fact, I love your mission statement here: supporting individuals with mental and physical disabilities through inclusivity and growth. And that inclusivity is kind of the key word there, because we want everybody included, don't we?
Yes, absolutely. And you want people to, a lot of times I would hear, people say I can't come because my kid won't sit down, or, I'm embarrassed, or they're going to do too much. So that's why it's important to be able to have space that's specifically for them and for their needs, so that they can, feel included.
So this call to serve this community of special needs folks really started in elementary school for you.
Yes.
I mean, it's pretty amazing. So because I'm sure your fellow students, many of them weren't feeling the same way you were. I mean, not that they were
Right.
angry what was going on, but it wasn't like a calling. It wasn't like, this divine force is saying, Erika, this is where I want you to plant your feet, and I want you to serve this community and make a difference. And that's what you're doing. And that's why I really wanted to talk to you today, so that our listeners know, first of all, that there's folks out there with a heart like yours, but there are services that can be a real benefit to grandparents raising your grandkids, especially those who have special needs. And so you do work with seniors in senior homes and other places like that, and support them. And so tell us a little bit more about your organization and what really works as far as the niche you found to support special needs folks and folks with disabilities. What's been happening? I know you just had a relaunch, which was real exciting for you. And so what would you want our listeners to know about, or our audience to know about, Lend a Hand, Heal a Heart Incorporated?
Yes, so we have a few programs. We have the Grand Friend Connection, which basically we have volunteers go to the senior homes and play games with them, read to them, and just provide them that social interaction. I was raised by my grandparents as well, and so I believe that, including them is very important to me. And then we also have mentorships, to where we have volunteers partner with somebody that has special needs around the same age group. And so when we have our events like karaoke night or bingo night or movie night, any event like that, they'll be able to have somebody to build that friendship, to build that connection, so that, they won't feel alone. And we have recently implemented support groups. And so there's one for the caregivers and the family, as well as the individuals that have disabilities. And I find that to be important because, families go through it as well. And so you might have a sibling that has a special need, and it's like, what does that look like for the parents' attention, for the parents' time, for the family time? And so I want to be able to provide that support as a community, to come together, to uplift each other, to support each other, and just to have fun. So we also have a arts and abilities program. And so if there's any talent like dancing or singing or instruments, we provide space for them to showcase as well. So it's really just, I like to focus on the positive side. It's a lot we can learn from them. It's a lot that can help us. It's not just, always teaching them, but it's about them teaching us how to be more patient, how to be better humans, how to be more empathetic. And so I just want to partner with other organizations and just service as many people as possible.
That is so great. And we can learn from each other, and sometimes we forget that, right? But we're in such a hurry in our culture, aren't we? I mean, with this whole idea of slowing down and being patient when life around us isn't going at the frenetic pace that we're used to. And that's what it's about when you're loving special needs folks, isn't it? Just slowing down and we don't have to go crazy. And that's so beautiful. And and with the elder involvement, are these like elders with special needs as well that you're working with? Or can these just be regular grandparents who have special needs grandkids are raising? Or
Yes, just seniors as well. Um, Alzheimer's, some of them have dementia, and some, like you said, are raising children with special needs. And so anything in that spectrum, um, just because, they need it. A lot of times with Alzheimer's and my grandparents, a lot of the people that passed in my family has had Alzheimer's. And so just to, when they're cut off or they may lose their keys, take their keys away or something like that, and they can't drive anymore, then it's like they start to dwindle down sometimes because they don't have that connection. And so I feel like that's something that I had to include just because, they need it. They need it too.
they do, and they don't want to feel like they're discarded, right? I know when my mom, when we took her keys, it was just like an epic event. That was life changing. That was, oh my gosh, life is ending, and it's not a fun thing, but unfortunately it's a necessary thing because we don't want them to get in an accident or to hurt anybody, and nor do they want to do that. But it's just that whole idea of turning over your freedom, and
Yeah,
so
basically.
so Erica, for our audience, we've got grandparents all over the country that are raising their grandkids, and some of those obviously have kids that are special needs. And how would they reach out? How would they connect to your group? And what could they glean from this connection? And that would really benefit because they're overwhelmed. And
Yeah.
their grandparents, we're raising an 11-year-old. In fact, when I'm done with this interview, her school has a half day today, which are
Oh,
when I was at school, half days were great. Now that I'm raising a granddaughter,
right.
are not great. So, and I think we've got two friends coming over and my granddaughter, so I'm gonna have to get my Nikes on. But how could what could they look for if they plug into a group like yours? And because they're always looking for a way to raise the grandkids more efficiently and with better outcomes to make them feel more comfortable. And the thing that you keep saying on your website, which I really like, is this idea of community. And community is so important to feel like you belong and that this is home for you and your special needs kids. And is that what a Lend a Hand, Heal a Heart is all about?
Yes, absolutely. I was raised by my grandparents and my great grandparents and my great aunts, and so I understand the community aspect of it. And for the organization, that's why I do support groups and events for the caregivers, and in this case, the grandparents, as well as the individual, because they need our support as well. And so I partner with other organizations. So, yes, you'll come to me for the emotional and the social aspect, but if you have a question about politics or you have a question about medical needs or something like that, we would have those resources to be able to say, hey, we know this organization that can help you with this. And so I believe it's not just about my organization, it's about everybody collectively coming together to help as many people as possible. And then for the individual, if you are raising your grandkid, they have a space to go where, you can sit down, you can watch them have fun, you can interact with other grandparents or other caregivers, talk with them, learn from them, and they're also having a good time as well. And they have somebody to look forward to and have something to look forward to. And so that's my goal, is to have something that everybody wants to look forward to. You want to look forward to this because this is like your outlet. This is your woosah time. This is your time to interact with people. So
I, I
yes, that is my definition of the community.
that is so great. And
as the longer I'm on this journey of being a grandparent, raising my granddaughter, I realize that if you're in this space, we're all connected. It doesn't
Mhm.
matter your background, your ethnicity, your level of education. If you were to say to me, or what Indian tribe you're from, or anything like that, if you're saying you're raising your or you were part of a grandma, or the great aunt's raising you, then you get my story and I get your story, because it's all about family and stepping in when there's a need, and loving these young ones. And you never know what they're going to become. They may grow up and run their own organization, helping special needs kids one day,
Right.
and been at it for, I can't believe you've been at it for 11 years, but you have. And because you look so young, but your heart is so big, and it's just so cool. And as we're talking here, Erika, when we get off the air, I've got a couple ideas on groups that I'd love for you to connect with. So, because what we find here at It's a Grand Life is that there's all these wonderful organizations out there, but they don't know about one another. And
Yeah.
and and that's just so important that you've got these great services, but that there's probably another couple hundred people minimum that would benefit right in our area here in Southeast Michigan. So let's you also do some work with folks outside the country, which I found very interesting. You work with that Nirvana group out of India, and what is that like?
It's great. We actually met about a month ago. I was just, promoting what I was doing, and she came and was like, we should partner together. And I love it because they're very good at community and inclusivity, and so they help with music therapy. And a lot of the children, hearing their story about them not being verbal, or being afraid, or the challenges that they were having with their uh, struggles they were facing. And so to see how far they've come just through participating in model shows and runway events and just singing in front of people. And so I love the work that she's doing, and I feel like that's something that we need to be a part of over here. And that also goes with my inclusivity and the diversity, because this is all about exploring other cultures and exploring other people, and just everybody coming together and helping each other.
And everybody's welcome under your tent, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Lend a Hand, Heal a Heart Incorporated. You got to say incorporated, or Erica, you'll be in deep weeds with her, because you got
Yes.
Lend a Hand, Heal a Heart Incorporated. But this is just
Yes.
such a great thing that you're doing, and you're connecting with not only seniors, but with folks that are challenged with raising kids with mental disabilities and some special needs, and everybody needs a place to have an outlet and a place of community, and that's what you've put together here, and it's just really fantastic. And so I want to encourage all our audience here at It's a Grand Life. Check out the Lend a Hand, Heal a Heart, Inc.org website. You'll see that at the bottom of our page here when this the final copy of this interview comes out. It'll have your website and your phone numbers and everything on that, so folks can get in touch with you. But Erika Johnson is making a huge difference here. She's in Southeast Michigan, but she's got a lot of insight for folks around the country as well. Maybe she knows of other groups in your state, so you might want to keep that in mind. But Erika, as a closing thought to our audience, what would you like to say to them to let them know how they can get involved with Lend a Hand and Heal a Heart, Inc.?
Yes, so on the website that you mentioned, we have a member form, and we also have a volunteer form. And so if you want to be a member and you want to be involved, you can fill out that form. If you just want to volunteer and be a part of, what we do, be a partner for somebody with special needs, you can fill out that form as well. And then when we get it, we will definitely reach out to you and schedule a meeting just to get to know you and, move from there.
Absolutely great. Always good to chat with you, and please keep us posted about what's happening in the future. We'd love, and if you have any special events, we'd love to have you come on and share that with us. But Erika Johnson, you are just an incredible American. I just love your heart. Of course, I'm going to give the grandparents credit. This is what happens.
Right.
A young lady raised by
Absolutely.
grandparents and great aunts. I could see the aunts getting involved. Don't do that.
Absolutely, yes.
But we appreciate you so much. Thanks for being our guest here on It's a Grand Life. And
Thank
we're
you.
going to just promote this any way we can. And just really can't thank you enough for the work you're doing for our community. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us today for It's a Grand Life. It's a Grand Life provides vital content, regulatory updates, and subject matter experts that are committed to supporting the 2.4 million kids and their caregivers from every neighborhood, every city, every tribe and territory nationwide. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel or wherever you get your podcasts and leave a review. Every new subscriber and review helps us reach others that need assistance. As caregivers, we are united in purpose. We are driven by hope while providing strength for today and hope for tomorrow. We are truly making a difference while living the grand life. If you have a suggestion for a future episode, please reach out to us. But we'll see you next time for another It's a Grand Life. Thank you for joining us.